Now, it is no secret to anyone that has watched this channel for any period of time that I am known to enjoy the occasional Western, and today's recommendation is one of the most underrated movies in that genre. The Outlaw Josey Wales is a film that absolutely would not be made today for a myriad of reasons, all of which can be nicely summed up by saying that it goes against the current cultural and political orthodoxy of modern Hollywood. The plot starts in the early years of the Civil War. That's the American Civil War for the people from places that don't matter. And it follows the titular character who, after having his family brutally murdered and his farm burned by a group of northern bushwhackers, joins the company of a group of southern-aligned bushwhackers led by Bloody Bill Anderson, who offers Wales the opportunity to set things right. And here, the film shows us the progression of this war band from a fairly unorganized raiding party to a more former military organization. And then we get to see the steady toll the war takes upon this unit right up until Bloody Bill himself dies. And their warband is one of the last groups of holdouts refusing to come in and surrender at the end of the war. And yet throughout this all, Josey Wales is only interested in extracting vengeance from the Union for the wrongs personally done to him. He is not an ideologue or a man with a loyalty to a flag necessarily, but a man driven to war by the horrors visited upon him personally. At the end, when everyone else is ready to surrender, he still clings to vengeance, and through a major plot twist that I will not spoil, he finds himself riding west, seemingly abandoning his quest for vengeance. And this is where one of the film's most interesting themes rears its head, as Wales is constantly impelled by the hand of serendipity, or more correctly, the writers perhaps, to take on responsibility for the protection of others, which leads to no small amount of personal conflict, as he is torn between his thirst for vengeance and his wish to protect his newfound family. He finds himself impelled time and again to take care of people who cross his path, who, without his aid as a martial individual, would surely come to a bad end, and without their humanizing influence, he would have completely lost his humanity to his hunt for vengeance.
Oh, Chief, I was just wondering. I suppose that mangy red-boned hound got no place else to go either. Well, you might as well ride along with us. Hell, everybody else is.
Clint Eastwood plays his part in this movie to a T. His character is similar to others he has portrayed in his long career in that he is a man that comports himself with a gravitas and weight that is sadly lacking in many modern leading men. But as much as I love his performance in this film, I would be remiss if I did not mention the excellent job done by Chief Dan George, who has got to be one of the most memorable characters. A, because he is Chief Dan George, and I don't think I've ever seen him give a bad performance, and B, probably because he has some of the best lines in the film, full stop.
We thought about it for a long time, endeavor to persevere. And when we had thought about it long enough, we declared war on the Union.
Sandra Locke deals out a very decent performance and has very obvious chemistry with Clint Eastwood as the primary romantic interest of the film. Go figure, as they wound up being an item IRL later. John Vernon plays a very steely-eyed former comrade of Wales who, through the vicissitudes of that aforementioned plot twist, is now sworn to slay him. The primary villain, played by Bill McKinney, is the commander of the same Union-aligned bushwhackers who killed Wales' family, and he does an excellent job of portraying a truly zealous and yet monstrous. All in all, on the acting side of things, the movie is very good, but that can be at least partially attributed to the fact that they had some very good material to work with. Sonia Chernus, a longtime employee of Eastwood's, worked out the rough draft with the writing polished up by Philip Kaufman, who went on to work on Raiders of the Lost Ark and quite a few more ignoble projects. Kaufman was also originally set to direct, however, due to some interpersonal drama on set between him, Sandra Locke, and Clint Eastwood, he would wind up catching the boot, and Eastwood would sit the director's seat for the remainder of production. And it shows. If you have seen Eastwood's other work in this genre, you will immediately recognize his guiding hand here. Everything from shootout scenes to the way the camera catches the eyes of the characters and the tense build-up scenes with sharp dialogue that explode into sharp bursts of action is all quintessential Eastwood. This movie has an R rating for a reason, and without spoiling shit, I can't say too much, but watch this one when the kiddies has been put to bed. And that, ladies and gentlemen, is my heretical recommendation of the Outlaw Josey Wales. It is is a very solid Clint Eastwood Western, by which I mean it is tightly shot, directed, and well written with very little in the way of wasted screen time. That is a pretty damn good first entry of Heretical recommendations that will involve Clint Eastwood's filmography. If you would like to see more, please consider leaving a like on the video and subscribing. Until next time, ladies and gentlemen, this has been Pete, the Heretical Nerd, signing off.